What if I told you that a simple, ordinary-looking penny from 1987, just 1 cent, could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today? Sounds wild, right? But it's absolutely true. There are coins out there that you might have tossed into a jar, dropped in your car cup holder, or forgotten at the bottom of a drawer that are now turning heads in the auction world. And the 1987 Lincoln cent is one of those surprising hidden gems. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you just might run to check your spare change. Let's begin with the basics. The 1987 Lincoln 1 cent coin is part of a long-running series that began in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. By 1987, the coin had already become a staple of American pockets, wallets, and coin rolls. On the obverse, you'll find the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The words, "In God We Trust," stretch along the top, Liberty sits to the left, and the date, 1987, appears to the right. If you see a small D or S beneath the date, that signifies it was minted in Denver or San Francisco. No mint mark means it came from Philadelphia. Flip it over, and the reverse still features the classic Lincoln Memorial design, introduced in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. If you look closely between the columns, you can even see a tiny engraving of the Lincoln statue. Yes, it's really there. The inscriptions include United States of America at the top, E pluribus unum just above the memorial, and 1 cent boldly across the bottom. Now, here's where things get exciting. Over 4.6 billion Lincoln cents were struck in Philadelphia in 1987, and another 4.4 billion in Denver. With those kinds of numbers, you might think there's no way this coin could be valuable. But you'd be surprised, because value hides in the details. And those details? They're hiding in mint errors, high grades, and rare conditions that make certain 1987 pennies incredibly collectible. Let's talk about mint errors first. One of the most valuable types to look for is the double die obverse, or DDO. This occurs when the coin die that strikes the blank metal planchet has been impressed twice, but slightly off alignment. On 1987 Lincoln cents with a DDO, you might see noticeable doubling in the words, "Liberty, in God We Trust," or even the date. If the doubling is strong and visible without magnification, collectors will pay a premium for it, especially in uncirculated condition. Another hot error is the off-center strike. Imagine a coin that was stamped just a little too far to the side, so that part of the design is missing and part of the coin is blank. These are called off-center strikes, and the more off-center it is, while still showing the date, the more valuable it becomes. A 1987 penny that's 40% or more off-center and still shows the full date can bring in hundreds at auction. Then there are clipped planchet errors. These occur when the metal sheet used to punch out coin blanks shifts slightly, and the blank gets clipped along the edge. A 1987 penny with a clean, curved missing chunk is a visually striking error, and serious collectors love these because they're easy to identify and very collectible. Another minting flaw that's becoming increasingly valuable is the struck-through error. This happens when something like grease, thread, or even cloth gets between the die and the planchet during striking, leaving behind unusual impressions or missing parts of the design. A 1987 Lincoln cent with a dramatic struck-through area, especially over Lincoln's face or the memorial, can sell for big money, depending on severity and condition. Let's not forget about broad strikes, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar that forms the rim. A broad-struck penny will appear larger and flatter than usual, with no raised rim and slightly stretched design. These are unique errors that many collectors actively seek out. Even without errors, condition alone can make a 1987 Lincoln penny extremely valuable. That's right, if your penny is in mint state condition, especially MS67 or higher, and has rich red luster, also known as red designation by graders, then you're holding something truly special. Coins graded this high are rare, and collectors pay top dollar to add them to their registry sets. Now, let's talk real numbers. Here are some actual auction prices paid for 1987 Lincoln cents that prove just how valuable this coin can be. A 1987 Lincoln cent from Philadelphia graded MS68 red by PCGS sold for $5,875 at auction. Yes, nearly $6,000 for a penny, because it had flawless luster, no visible marks, and was one of the highest graded examples in existence. The 1987 D Lincoln cent graded MS67 Plus red fetched $2,160, largely because it had perfect eye appeal and was near the top of the population report for that year, and mint marked a double die obverse error in mint state 65 red condition, sold for $980, with collectors loving the crisp doubling on the motto and date. A clipped planchet 1987 D cent in MS64 red sold for $450, thanks to its clear crescent clip and uncirculated condition. A broad-struck error example with a flawless strike and no rim achieved a final price of $370, due to its unique look and sharp preservation. An off-center 1987 penny showing a 60% strike with full date sold for $625, as errors this dramatic are extremely rare and visually impressive. A struck-through grease error obscuring most of Lincoln's face sold for $285, because of the wild look and strong curiosity factor. Even a well-preserved standard MS67 red 1987 D penny sold for $325, purely for its grade and rich color. So the next time you find a penny lying around, especially one from 1987, don't just pass it by. Take a good look. Check the lettering for doubling, inspect the rim and edge for clips or misstrikes, look at the overall quality and luster, and if it looks unusually perfect or strangely flawed, it might be worth a second opinion, or even a professional grading, because what might seem like a worthless coin today could be a major surprise tomorrow. And wouldn't it be something if that penny you've had for decades turned out to be worth thousands? If you loved this journey into the world of the 1987 Lincoln penny and the treasure it might hold, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and tap that bell icon so you never miss the next coin mystery we uncover. Keep your eyes on your change, keep hunting, and happy collecting. The 1995 D Lincoln penny is part of the classic Lincoln cent series, which began in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. By 1995, the design hadn't changed much since then, especially on the obverse. The front of the coin still features the iconic right-facing bust of Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. You'll see the words, "In God We Trust," arched along the top, "Liberty" on the left, and the date, 1995, on the right. And just below the date, that tiny D mint mark, signifying the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Turn it over, and you'll see the reverse side showcases the Lincoln Memorial, which replaced the original wheat ears design in 1959. This reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, features intricate detailing of the memorial building, including a tiny engraving of Lincoln's statue in the center. The inscriptions on the reverse include "United States of America" across the top, "E Pluribus Unum" just above the memorial, and "1 cent" at the bottom. Now, here's where things get interesting. The 1995 D penny had a massive mintage, over 7 billion were struck at the Denver Mint alone. That sounds like a lot, and it is, but value hides in the fine print. Within this huge number, there are error coins, ultra-high grade examples, and rare variations that have shocked even seasoned collectors at auction. Let's begin with one of the most well-known issues connected to the 1995 Lincoln cent in general, the double die obverse. While the famous DDO for 1995 occurred on Philadelphia minted coins and not Denver ones, there are still errors and rarities tied to the 1995 D cent that can be just as exciting and valuable. One of the most desirable are off-center strike errors, where the coin is not aligned correctly during striking. These result in part of the design being missing or shifted, and the blank area of the coin shows clearly. If a 1995 D penny is struck 50% off-center but still shows the full date and mint mark, it can fetch hundreds of dollars. Then we have clipped planchet errors. These occur when the coin blank is improperly punched out of the metal strip, resulting in a clean crescent-shaped piece missing from the edge. These clips are especially collectible when they are dramatic and clean. Another fascinating error is the broad strike. In this type, the coin is struck outside of the collar that normally keeps the edges contained. The result is a wider, flatter coin without a defined rim, very visually appealing to collectors who love error coins. You might also come across struck-through errors, where a piece of debris like grease or cloth gets between the die and the planchet during striking. This can lead to wild, one-of-a-kind designs, like a blurry Lincoln face or missing letters. Another category to look out for is coins struck on the wrong planchet, for example, a 1995 D penny struck on a dime planchet or a foreign coin blank. These are extremely rare and can command thousands depending on weight, metal, and design visibility, but even without errors, the 1995 D Lincoln cent can be worth a good amount if it's in exceptionally high grade. A regular, circulated coin might not be worth more than a cent. But a penny in mint state 67 red or higher with full original luster and virtually no contact marks? That's where things get serious. These high-end examples are hard to find and highly sought after by registry collectors who want the best of the best for their sets. And now, let's dive into some real-world numbers. The auction prices that 1995 D pennies have fetched. A 1995 D Lincoln cent graded MS68 red by PCGS sold for an incredible $1,880. Simply because of its immaculate condition, deep red color, and flawless surfaces. Another MS67 Plus red example brought in $960, just shy of $1,000 for a penny that looked nearly perfect. A stunning off-center 1995 D penny with a 45% strike and full visible date and mint mark sold for $575 at auction. A clipped planchet error from the Denver Mint in mint state 64 red sold for $440, due to its dramatic crescent shape and solid preservation. A rare broadstruck 1995 D penny, showing full design details and no rim, sold for $395, appreciated for its uniqueness and high grade. A struck-through error, where the lower portion of Lincoln's face was blurred due to grease in the die, brought in $310, as it was both obvious and dramatic. A 1995 D penny struck on a dime planchet, weighing significantly less than it should, shocked everyone when it sold for $1,250, thanks to its unusual color and off-metal content. Even a clean MS67 red 1995 D cent with brilliant luster and full strike sold for $310, showing how important top condition is in the eyes of collectors. So what's the takeaway? The 1995 D Lincoln penny is not just spare change. If you know what to look for, mint errors, strong strikes, and pristine conditions, you might just have a coin that could go for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. 1 cent could turn into $1,000. All it takes is a sharp eye and a little bit of luck. If you found this story of the 1995 D Lincoln penny exciting and you're ready to check your coin jar for hidden gems, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and tap the bell icon so you never miss a single episode of coin mysteries like this. Until next time, keep looking, keep collecting, and who knows, your treasure might already be in your pocket. The 1997 D Lincoln penny is part of the iconic Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. By 1997, the coin's design had already become familiar to every American. On the obverse, or front, of the coin, you'll find the detailed bust of President Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. His profile faces right, with the phrase, "In God We Trust," arching above his head. On the left, the word "Liberty" sits proudly, and to the right, you'll see the year, 1997, along with the small D mint mark below it, signifying that it was struck at the Denver Mint. The reverse of the coin features the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. It's beautifully detailed, even showing the tiny figure of Lincoln seated inside the memorial if you look closely. The words, "United States of America," curve across the top, while "E pluribus unum" rests just above the memorial, and "1 cent" sits boldly at the bottom. While the design may appear ordinary at first glance, the magic of this coin lies in the errors, condition, and small details that can transform it from spare change into a collector's dream. Over 4.5 billion of these pennies were minted in Denver alone in 1997, making it incredibly common. But don't let that fool you. Among these billions, a handful possess characteristics that skyrocket their value, and those are the coins we're here to uncover. Let's talk about mint errors, the hidden details that turn a regular coin into something extraordinary. First up is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin blank, or planchet, isn't perfectly aligned during striking. The result is a coin with part of the design shifted and part of the coin left blank. The more off-center the strike, especially if the date and mint mark are still fully visible, the more valuable the coin becomes. A 1997 D penny struck 40% off-center can easily command several $100s, especially in uncirculated condition. Then there's the clipped planchet error. Imagine a penny that's missing a clean crescent-shaped chunk. This happens when the planchet is mispunched during production. These clipped planchets are easily recognizable and are quite desirable among error coin collectors. A deep curved clip with full design details intact can push the value of a 1997 D penny well into the hundreds. Another exciting error is the broad strike. When a coin is struck without the collar that holds it in place, it expands outward, creating a wide, flat-looking coin with no raised edge. Broad-struck pennies from 1997 are rare and can fetch premium prices, especially if they're in mint condition. You should also watch for struck-through errors, where debris, like grease or cloth, gets between the die and the blank during striking. This results in strange textures or missing design details. A dramatic struck-through error, especially one that affects Lincoln's face or the memorial, can grab attention at auction and bring in big bucks. One of the rarest but most lucrative errors is the wrong planchet strike. If a 1997 penny was accidentally struck on a dime planchet or a foreign coin blank, it would appear lighter and possibly silver in color. These mistakes are incredibly rare and highly collectible, often selling for thousands depending on the weight, appearance, and error type. But even without errors, condition alone can make a 1997 penny extremely valuable. Coins that have never been circulated, stored properly, and preserved in top condition can receive extremely high grades from grading services like PCGS or NGC. A penny graded MS67 red or higher with sharp strike, brilliant red luster, and no visible contact marks is a rare find and worth serious money. Now for the moment you've been waiting for: real auction prices that collectors have paid for the 1997 Lincoln Cent. A 1997 Lincoln Cent graded MS68 red by PCGS sold for an eye-popping $1,920. That's nearly $2,000 for a single penny, thanks to its flawless surface and top-tier condition. That another MS67 Plus red example fetched $840, proving how condition alone can dramatically impact value. A 1997 penny with a 50% off center strike, showing full date and mint mark, sold for $685. Thanks to its dramatic appearance and excellent preservation. A clipped planchet error, also in mint state red condition, brought in $460, especially because it had clean clipping and strong eye. Appealed. A broad-struck error 1997 cent, showing a full design with no rim, sold for $420, highlighting how these errors are both collectible and valuable. A unique struck-through grease error, which left Lincoln's profile partially missing, earned $375 at auction due to its eye-catching mistake. Wrong planchet strike, where the coin was struck on a thinner, silvery dime planchet, was sold for an astounding $1,450, with collectors eager to own such a rare mint mishap. Even a standard, high grade MS67 red 1997 penny with excellent color and sharp strike has sold for $290, purely because of its immaculate condition. So, the next time you dig through your loose change or open an old coin album, don't overlook the 1997 Lincoln penny. That little copper-colored coin could be hiding big value. Whether it's a rare error or a perfect condition example, it could very well be worth far more than 1 cent. If you found this deep dive into the 1997 Lincoln penny exciting, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss more hidden coin treasures like this one. Check your change, stay curious, and happy collecting.